Hello, this is a video tutorial on collecting and reporting outreach data for the Office of Victim Services and Justice Grants Performance Management Initiative quarterly reports. In this video, we will review how to collect and report the number of new Facebook likes, the Facebook page reach, and Facebook engagement. In order to access your organization's Facebook analytics, you'll need to have administrator access. First, we'll look at how you can determine the number of new Facebook likes for the quarter. At the top of your organization or agency's Facebook page, you'll see 5 tabs. Click on the Insights tab. On the left side of the screen, you will see a selection of page options. Click Likes. At the top of the page, you'll have the opportunity to choose start and end dates for the Facebook analytics. For the start date, you'll choose the last date of the previous quarter. For example, if I'm reporting on quarter 2, I will have my start date set as December 31st. The end date should be the last date of the current reporting quarter. So for quarter 2, that would be March 31st. Below the date selection area, you'll see a chart titled Total Page Likes as of today. Use the mouse and scroll over the area above the last date of the previous fiscal quarter. So here you can see on December 31st, we had 1,248 likes. You're going to write down this number. So for me, I'm going to put it in my calculator. Then we're going to scroll over and look at the last day of the current quarter. So it's 1,300. So this is the final number of likes for your organization. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract that initial number from this number. So 1,300. So 1,300 minus 1,248 is 52. If your agency lost followers, the number is going to be reported as a negative number, and if your agency gained followers, then this number is going to be reported as a positive number. So for this quarter, I would report that there were 52 new Facebook likes. Next, we're going to look at how you can determine Facebook page reach. You will again be under the Insights tab, and on the left-hand side, we're going to select Reach this time. And again, at the top of the page, we're going to have the opportunity to choose the start and end date for the Facebook analytics. So for Facebook reach, we're going to choose the first day of the current reporting quarter, which if we are looking at quarter 2, it will be January 1st. And then we'll choose for the end date, it will be the last date of the fiscal quarter. So for quarter 2, that would be March 31st. We're then going to scroll down to the bottom, where you will see this chart labeled Total Reach. And you'll start and you'll hover your mouse over the first date of the fiscal quarter, and you'll see that the reach for that date was 2. And what you'll do in order to calculate the total reach for your Facebook page is that you will add up the sum of all of the reach for each date within the fiscal quarter. Now this can be a bit arduous, so there is a shortcut. I'm going to first go back up and I'm going to change my dates. So I'm going to place the start date as the last date of the previous fiscal quarter and the end date of the first date of the next fiscal quarter. So I'm going to give a little bit of a buffer around the fiscal quarter that I'm trying to determine the Facebook reach for. So I'm going to scroll back down to my chart and I'm going to hover again over the first date of the fiscal quarter. I'm then going to click my mouse and I'm going to highlight the chart area for the entire fiscal quarter. And it's okay if you go a little bit beyond the fiscal quarter. And here a chart, once you release your mouse, a chart is going to auto-populate and it's going to give you the total reach from January 1st until April 1st. And you'll see that the chart breaks down by day and it breaks down the total reach as well as the organic and the paid reach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this chart. And I'm only going to highlight the applicable dates, so I'm not going to highlight the extra dates, the buffer zone, because that's unnecessary for my PMI reporting. And I'm going to copy And I'm going to paste this chart into an Excel document. Now, in order to determine the total reach for my Facebook page, I'm going to add up the sum of the total reach for each day within the fiscal quarter that I'm reporting on. So to make this simple, I'm just going to scroll to the bottom of the total reach column. I'm going to put in a simple calculation, simple formula. So equals the sum, and I'm going to highlight the fields for all of the dates that I want to calculate. And then I'm just going to press enter. And there you have it. My Facebook reach for quarter 2 for Facebook is 50,940, and that's what I will be reporting on for my second quarter PMI report for total reach for Facebook. The final thing that we're going to look at today is how you determine the Facebook engagement. So we're going to go back to our Facebook page, click off of this chart, and we're going to be back under the Insights tab once again. And on the left-hand side, we're going to choose Posts. So when you scroll down on this page, you'll see this chart labeled All Posts Published. And you'll see that it has a breakdown of different information for each individual post that was posted on your organization's Facebook page, including the reach and the engagement that your posts got during the fiscal quarter. For the purposes of our PMI reporting, we are going to be looking for the engagement. So we are going to be looking at the total number of post clicks, reactions, comments, and shares. So when you scroll down, you'll see it only has a certain number of dates that are visibly available. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is scroll down and open up the chart so that the dates that I'm looking for the fiscal quarter are visible. So again, since we're reporting on quarter 2, I'm going to be looking for January 1st through March 31st. And we're almost there. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to again give myself a buffer zone just to make sure that I highlight all of the appropriate data. So I'm going to start with the last date of the posting for the previous fiscal quarter, and I'm going to highlight, starting with the far right column, all of the data, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, 6 columns, and I'm going to scroll up until I've highlighted all of the post data for all of the posts during the fiscal quarter that I'm reporting PMIs for. And I'm just going to give, again, a little buffer zone on either side. I'm then going to copy all of this information, and I'm going to open up a new workbook, and I'm going to paste this information into this workbook. Now what you can do is you can go through and you can manually add up each of the data pieces in this column. So you'll want to add up the total number of post clicks and reactions, comments, and shares. So all of the numbers that are in this column you'll want to add up. So you could go through and manually add them up. I find that it's easier to use an Excel document. So here all of the data has been posted into my Excel document. And first I'm going to remove the data that's not applicable on both sides of the document. And then what I'm going to do, this column right here is the same column that is the engagement column on the Facebook page. You'll notice that all of the data is duplicated. So instead of just having the number once, for some reason when you copy and paste it, it shows the number twice. So I'll show you the last date of the fiscal quarter. There's 1, 2. For some reason in the Excel document, it has it twice. So the easiest shortcut that I know to calculate this data is to scroll down to the bottom. And again, we're going to use our sum function. equals the sum, and I'm going to highlight this entire column. This time I'm going to close off that function and I'm going to actually divide the sum of that by 2 because everything has been duplicated. And you'll see down here, so my total Facebook engagement for Q2 is 4,147. And again, if you want, you can double check it by going through and manually adding up all of the data from this column for the dates for the fiscal quarter, but I find that this is much simpler and there are a lot fewer arithmetic errors if you just copy and paste it into an Excel document. And that is the conclusion for this tutorial on how to collect and report on the outreach data for Facebook Analytics for the quarterly PMI reports.